Alright boys, welcome back to another video. I actually tried making a video last night. It was like 12 a.m. I was literally speaking and I literally couldn't get any words out of my mouth. I kept like thinking about random stuff and like dozing off. So I'm like, F this. Okay, I'm just gonna go to sleep, wake up, and record. But recently, I've been interested in trauma recently. Okay, so I've been interested in the work of trauma because I have a theory, and I think this is a true theory, which is the bad habits that we are going through, it's bigger than just the fact that you're addicted to it, if that makes sense. It's definitely improving. But even then, I still sometimes play FIFA. Like, for example, like I had two exams on Friday, 2 days ago. I had two exams. I was freaking drained. Just freaking imagine doing two exams. One is a freaking math exam, and the other one is another random exam that you have to. I had to write two freaking essays and eight short answer questions, bro. These university professors be going crazy. But bro, I did the exams and then I came home at around like 9 p.m. and I was just like, yo, I did so much work today. I went through so much, because I was studying as well a lot. So I was like, I went through so many things. You know what, bro? I'm just gonna go ham. I'm gonna go all out. And I came home and I didn't even hesitate. I started watching like entertainment YouTube videos, which are they're kind of good, right? I was watching the Nico Milano stuff. It was actually really good. But like, come on, you know what I'm trying to say. But I watched like 2 hours of that, and then I'm like, it's not over, bro. It's not over. And then pulled out my laptop, took my controller out, and boom, started going ham, right? Started going ham, and I played until 3:30 freaking a.m. And obviously, I felt like a zombie. You know when you go so hard, it's when you're just like dopamine stacking. That's what it's called. When you just keep stacking dopamine after dopamine, and I'm talking about instant gratification, instant dopamine. Like you go from like some people like they drink and then they smoke weed at the same time, or like they keep adding random stuff. More disgusting degenerate behaviors. I'm notorious. Like I don't know. I just go full ham. But at the end, after freaking playing and doing random stuff until 3:30 a.m., you don't even know how freaking overstimulated I felt. You don't even know the fact that I was about to pray and I literally like felt like a freaking crackhead. And then I was just like, okay, bro, I let me just try going to sleep. But one thing that I did wonder though, which is why did I keep going back to FIFA? Why do I keep getting these urges, but not these urges? Why do I engage in FIFA, in video games? Why do I engage in this stuff when I know that it's bad for me? When I know that it's destroying my dopamine receptors? When I know it's a distraction away from my future? We can have the debate whether you think video games are distractions or not. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Like they probably are. Okay, and this is coming from someone who like was literally playing 2 days ago, and I'm saying that it is a distraction. Obviously, you're gonna be like, "Well, you were playing it." I know. I'm fixing this issue of mine. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, this is 100% a distraction, bro. So either way, now I woke up yesterday and I was just like, okay, I need to work through this. I need to work through what's actually freaking happening. Why am I actually doing this? Why am I actually doing this? And I realized a lot of it is trauma work. I think so. I think a lot of it is like it's bigger than the fact that you're just addicted to video games and it gives you instant gratification. There is a reason, right? There is a reason why you choose the instant gratification in the first place. There's a reason why you choose to live that lifestyle. There's a reason why I chose to play FIFA. And I was going through it. I'm like, okay, what does FIFA make me feel like? FIFA makes me feel like I'm winning. FIFA makes me feel like I'm succeeding. And playing video games helps me level up in life. Level up. Not really in life, but in this virtual world. Clearly, my day isn't reflecting that, right? If my day isn't reflecting me winning, obviously I'm going to resort to something like FIFA. Obviously, I'm going to resort to video games. Obviously, a lot of us resort to like pornography because it makes us feel like, oh, bro, I just got the baddest chick, bro. Like your brain thinks that you just got like you got like 50 tabs open, right? So your brain thinks you have like 50 girls or something, but they're all fake, right? They're not real, obviously. I think me and you are literally traumatized. because there are reasons for why we do something. We need more people to speak about this, bro. I know trauma in like the masculinity space is seen as like, oh my god, you're like a freaking 16-year-old freaking high schooler girl. But like genuinely, I feel like we need to talk about this because at the end of the day, bad habits are crutches. They're crutches for something bigger. We use them as a mask to fill a bigger need, to fill a bigger hole. Those who don't have purpose, they fill that emptiness that they feel. They fill it with more instant gratification, but that leaves them even more empty. So they fill it with more instant gratification, but that leaves them more empty. The way that drugs, alcohol, and all these instant dopamine works is that you kind of get used to like the first doses. Like I could play for 1 hour video games, but realistically for me to get that fun, that little freaking high, I need to play like more like 4 hours of video games minimum. This is why when I play FIFA, I go all the way. Like I just play until 3 a.m. When someone does drugs, for example, like they'll smoke weed, right? But then at the end of the day, like weed will only get them so much high. So then they look for other drugs. Then they look for cocaine, freaking heroin, all this stuff. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it builds on. Like same thing with porn, bro. Like you start off with like regular videos and then you go up to freaking like, bro, this is freaking disgusting. But some people literally watch animals. Freaking what the frick, bro? Sick in the head individuals. But some people watch animals or they watch like random like stuff. And that's just because the regular stuff isn't giving you that high anymore. Right? Like imagine like erectile dysfunction, right? That's a thing, right? I think a lot of us are using this and we're traumatized to some extent. Maybe ask yourself like, why are you addicted to fast food? Why was I addicted to FIFA? Because bro, like it made me feel like I was winning. Okay, it made me feel like I was winning. It made me feel like I was progressing. It made me the spotlight. And I don't know. I have to do more inner work. Like I have to find out more things about myself. But maybe because I was never in the spotlight growing up, and this is not me like trying to have like a sob story. Oh my god, guys, I had such a hard upbringing. Like I've had a great upbringing when it comes to having all the privileges of life. Like I've had my own room. I had my own I didn't have to worry about responsibilities growing up. I didn't have to worry about food being on the table. So I grew up very privileged, 100%. But personal issues, yeah, bro, I was never in the spotlight growing up. Back in elementary school or middle school. I don't know, it's just like I had friends and stuff like that, but I feel like I was one of those kids that kind of just tagged along and stuff like that. Just kind of walked around with the cool guys, but like no one, like I know people, but no one really is like deep friends with me, except a few people I had, obviously. But like, you know what I'm trying to say? You don't like, and you look at those guys that are like confident in freaking high school, middle school, and they're so good with girls and all this stuff, and especially with girls, like for me, they would never approach me. Okay, like growing up, I'm saying, right? So because they would never approach me, like they would never like look at me or talk to me, but then they would approach like other guys, if that makes sense, you know? So I was always like awkward around them. I guess that need for feeling seen in a way results or resorts to like me playing video games in a way. Because think about it, when you're playing FIFA and you score a goal with your own character, because I play career mode with your own character that has your name, it's like, oh my god, this guy, you like, I just like, you pretend it's you on the screen, right? So like it's just like, oh my god, I scored. I obviously I don't say that when I'm playing, but in my head it's like, yeah, bro, like you're him. You just freaking scored a banger, knuckleball, freaking up, like boom, knuckleball, top right bin, right? But genuinely, when I turn off that laptop and then I'm just sitting there, freaking overstimulated as hell, and I feel like a zombie, and I sometimes lose hope. Like, why do I keep going back? Why do I keep going back to this? So ask yourself these questions, bro. Why do you eat fast food? What is it trying to mask? What are you trying to mask? Because I'm telling you right now, fast food for a lot of people is comfort. And comfort because they felt some way growing up and they used fast food as a way to comfort themselves. Genuinely. Maybe you're like, again, some people, like, you know, that some people become really stressed and then they resort to fast food. When you're stressed, your prefrontal cortex is literally like, it's messed up. When you're stressed, you are literally gonna be choosing the shorter term options. When you're stressed, when you have trauma, when you have unprocessed emotions, you're gonna go and choose short-term options. That's just how it works. And you're gonna use things to mask up that trauma. Bro, me and you are freaking traumatized. Please accept it. I swear, bro, me and you are traumatized. At least I'm traumatized. I'll say that. And I want to talk, like, I want more people to speak about this. Like, bro, there's so many videos online. Like, I'm gonna be on a rant, bro. I'm sorry, but there's so many videos online where people are just like, yeah, the top 7 ways to beat a bad habit. Number 1, change your environment. Number 2, get an app blocker. Number 3, like, bro, no. It's so much deeper than change your environment. Like, change your environment is insane. It's great. It's beautiful. But what is the root cause? The root is like trauma. It's your mindset, your beliefs towards this thing. If I believe that FIFA is like good for me, then no matter how much I change the environment, if I use FIFA as a crutch and I believe it's good for me and I believe it to be like a need, something that actually fills my life, then I'm gonna go back to it. If someone loves fast food because fast food has been giving him that sense of comfort and that deep care, fast food gives him the comfort. Oh, this is so good right now. Let me eat that freaking burger, right? It feels good. And all of a sudden, he changes his environment. Let's just say he takes away all the fast food in his cupboard. He takes away the fast food in his pantry. He takes away the fast food from his kitchen and his fridge. Let's just say he gets rid of fast food in his house. Now, he still hasn't processed the emotions. So for him, fast food was the only thing that gave him that sense of nourishment and comfort. So because he hasn't processed those emotions and he still looks at fast food as a need, like if he looks at fast food as like, okay, I still need it, right? Because a part of his brain is like, oh, but fast food's the only thing that gives me that sense of care. So if he looks at fast food as a need, deep down in his brain, he still looks at fast food as like, oh, okay, then he's probably gonna go buy it in the store when he's outside. Uber Eats, you know what I'm trying to say? He's still gonna go buy the fast food because despite changing his environment, he hasn't changed himself. Environment is a big part of your self improvement, but you need to have that identity and the mindset before the environment for the environment to reflect and to work. If you are someone who's a criminal and you go from a bad neighborhood to a good neighborhood, but you still see yourself as a criminal, you are gonna be a criminal in a good neighborhood too. If you see yourself as a criminal, now, if you're like someone who's a kind of degenerate and like a criminal, but then you got an offer to move to this rich town, and you know what, and you tell yourself, you know what, I think I'm in need for a change. This criminal lifestyle is not really giving me anything. This criminal lifestyle is destroying me. I think it's like it's such a low life. It's such a bad lifestyle. You know what? I'm gonna use this opportunity to actually change myself, change who I am. I want to be a good civilian. So now, the same person who was a criminal, when he gets the offer to change his environment, he's going in with a different identity, right? Compared to someone a criminal who gets placed in a good environment, but he still is a criminal inside. He still thinks of himself as a criminal. I'm still gonna rob people, bro. In fact, you put me in a good environment, I get more stuff to rob now. You see the difference? So it's this in a way. And I know like it's kind of vague because they're like, oh, what do you mean it's this? A lot of this is just you gotta figure this out not completely on your own. There are definitely ways to get people to help you 100%. But you gotta sort of take the initiative and to start asking yourself these questions. What do I believe about fast food? Why is fast food? Why is video games? Why are these things? Why do I think them as benefit to me? Why do I believe them as a thing I need? Yesterday, my friend was asking, like, in a way, like not yesterday, but my friend used to ask, like, bro, what if I go back to my bad habits, right? Like, what if I get on self improvement, but what if I kind of just go back to my old self, like, what does that do? Or how does that work? And I just told him, like, no, you haven't really changed your identity, right? Like, let's just say today I said, I am someone who eats clean food. That's one of my identities that I genuinely chose. Not just, I didn't just say it. Like, I genuinely chose this version of myself. I am someone who eats clean food. I'm someone who's an athlete. I'm someone who wears Gymshark because I want to be an athlete. I want to be someone who's jacked and whatever, right? Now I chose to live this lifestyle, to become this new person. Now, if I go back to my old self, then clearly I haven't changed. Clearly, there's a part of my brain that still favors scrolling, being lazy, whatever. If you're someone who's more or less lazy, if you're someone who's ambitious but lazy, if you're someone who isn't pushing his life, and trust me, I'm not doing the best either. I'm not doing the best either. We're all on this journey together, and I'm gonna keep documenting and dropping gems for you guys, bro. The more I push myself, the more I push my life, I'm only gonna be dropping more gems and more value. But for now, right? For now, if you're unable to focus and whatever, there are reasons to why. Maybe you're just scrolling too much. Now, what are your beliefs on scrolling? Why do you scroll on Instagram? Because oh, it's like leisure time, it's just leisure time. It gives me some time off, right? It's just for fun, like I don't know what people say for scrolling. It just gives me some entertainment or something. That's why you scroll, because your belief towards scrolling is not, essentially, it's not freaking hostile. I have a very hostile belief towards scrolling. Not hostile in terms of people, I mean towards scrolling, the habit. My belief, maybe could use a better word for it, but like my belief is different. I believe scrolling is the one of the most disgusting things, and I haven't scrolled in like 3 years, guys. So like, I believe scrolling is one of the worst things, especially TikTok and Instagram Reels and all that stuff, YouTube Shorts. I genuinely believe this is disgusting. I genuinely believe you're literally a zombie if you scroll. Going from dopamine to dopamine, next thing, like I really believe like it's a zombie. You're a zombie if you scroll. You're destroying your dopamine receptors. You're just, I believe, scrolling to be frying the frick out of your brain. You're just squeezing the last freaking juice out of your freaking brain. See, like my beliefs towards scrolling is so different. Why would I go scroll after that? If I believe this about scrolling, when I observe people on the train, when I go on public transport, when I'm going home from university, and everyone on the aisle was just, not everyone, but a lot of people are just scrolling. At 6 a.m., I'm seeing people scrolling on the train at 6 a.m., 6:30, 7, whatever it is. I literally see them scrolling, and I'm just like, are you destroying your brain before your brain even got a chance to like wake up properly? And you're already effing out and destroying your brain? See, I look at scrolling as something that destroys your brain. I look at people that scroll unable to hold conversations. I look at people that scroll unable to focus on what you're saying. Essentially, without trying to be arrogant, scrollers are just consumers who can't focus, who can't even read. And I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that person. See, these beliefs that I have, obviously, I'm not gonna go and scroll. So a lot of what we do is trauma based. A lot of what we do is because we use bad habits as a big crutch, and we need to sort of change it. Boys, I'm gonna be honest. That's it for the video. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I've been really just obsessed with making like really, really, really good videos. I realized like a lot of it's not just about freaking money, bro. It's not just about money. Like, money's important. I definitely want to make money from YouTube and stuff like that, 100%. Like from like a business or something, 100%. But it's bigger than just that, bro. Even the business is bigger than just making money, bro. And I'm trying to think about like how can I make the videos so good? Like what specifically, like I'm still trying to figure that out. I know right now for you is like what is this kid talking about? I will I will continue to work on this, and I'll let you know. Like, but there's I definitely feel something like a bigger reason to make YouTube videos than just for money or like views or subscribers. Because some people are just like, oh yeah, YouTube is like, for me, is it's just like a money making tool because I want to make money. Like, that's such a freaking low life. Like, there's so much bigger than just money, bro. Anyways, bro, I'm gonna figure that out. Other than that, thank you so much for watching the video. If you stuck by, if you're new, consider subscribing. My links in what the frick am I saying? Instagram is in the first link in the description down below. And yeah, boys. Other than that, I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one, bro. Assalamu alaikum.